Welcome back to Code Podcast, where we make coding concepts easy and fun. I am Ashini Ayodhya, and today we are diving into the fascinating world of linear data structures. These structures are fundamental building blocks in programming, and mastering them will give you a solid foundation for solving complex problems efficiently. Linear data structures organize data sequentially, one element after another. This makes operations like traversal straightforward because each element has a single predecessor and successor, except for the first and last elements. Today, we will explore arrays, linked lists, stacks, and queues, each with visual diagrams. First up, we have arrays. Think of an array as a row of blockers, each with its own unique number and contents. Arrays store elements in contiguous memory locations, making it easy to access any element by its index. In this diagram, each locker or array element is identified by an index number. For example, to access the third element, you just need to refer to its index array 2. Arrays are great because they offer fast access to any element, but they come with a fixed size. Once you create an array, you can't change its size. So you have to know in advance how many elements you need to store. They are perfect for scenarios where you have a fixed number of elements and need quick access by index. Next, let's explore linked list. Imagine a linked list like a treasure hunt, where each clue or node points to the next clue. Each node contains data and a reference to the next node in the sequence. In this linked list, the head node starts with the value 10, points to the next node, which contains 20, and so on, until the end of the list is marked by null. Linked lists are dynamic, meaning you can easily add or remove nodes without worrying about resizing, unlike arrays. However, finding a specific element requires traversing the list from head node, which can be time-consuming. Linked lists are ideal for situations where you expect frequency insertions and deletions. Now, let's stack up our knowledge with stacks. A stack is like a stack of plates, where you add new plates on top and take the top plate off first, following the last in, first out principle. Let's look at the push operation, which adds an element to the top of the stack. Here, we have a stack with 3 elements, 10 at the bottom, 20 in the middle, and 30 at the top. The top point indicates the current top of the stack, which is the element 30. Now, let's add or push the element 40 on the stack. After we push 40 on the stack, it looks like this. Notice how 40 is now at the top of the stack, and the top pointer has moved up to the new element. This previous top element 30 is now just below 40. The stack grows upwards as we add elements, and each new element becomes the new top of the stack. Next, let's look at the pop operation, which removes the element from the top of the stack. Here, the top element of the stack is 40. To remove or pop the top element, we perform the pop operation. After we pop 40 from the stack, look like this. Notice how 40 has been removed from the stack and the top pointer has moved back down to the 30. The stack shrinks downwards as we remove elements, and the new top element is now 30. Stacks are useful in various applications, like reversing strings, managing function calls, and implemented undo mechanisms in software. Lastly, let's queue up our final topic, queues. A queue is like a waiting in line at a movie theater, where the first person to get in the line is the first to be served, following the first in, first out principle. Here we have a queue with 6 elements. The front pointer indicates where the next element will be removed, and the rear pointer indicates where the next element will be added. Let's start with the end queue operation, which adds an element to the rear of the queue. Let's add or enqueue element 6 to the queue. After we enqueue 6 to the queue, it looks like this. Notice how 6 is now at the rear of the queue, and the rear pointer has moved to this new element. The queue grows as we add elements to the rear, and each new element becomes the new rear of the queue. Next, let's look at the JQ operation, which removes the element from the front of the queue. Here the front element of the queue is 1. To remove or JQ the front element, we perform the DQ operation. After we DQ 1 from the queue, it looks like this. Notice how 1 has been removed from the queue and the front pointer has moved to 2. The queue shrinks as we remove elements from the front, and the new front element is now 2. Queues are useful in various applications, like task scheduling, managing requests in web servers. And that's a wrap on linear data structures. We have covered arrays, linked lists, stacks, and queues, each with their unique advantages and ideal use cases. Understanding these structures is fundamental for efficient data management and problem-solving programming. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. We will continue to explore more advanced topics in future videos. Thanks for watching Code Chronicles, and until next time, happy coding!